This is the Seahawkers podcast, episode 495. I'm Brandon Schultz of the Military Seahawkers, and I am joined by my good buddy Adam Emmert as our Seattle Seahawks are going to the Super Bowl.
We're going to the Super Bowl, man, in a season that, for me personally, coming into this, felt extremely unlikely. Did not think that this was really legitimately on the board in any way. Like the idea of maybe moving the ball forward, being better than 10 wins, having a playoff win, maybe 2, and then being competitive and then coming back next year and then really hitting it. Like that's kind of where I was at. Dead wrong. And these guys have gotten after it from the word jump, and everything is hit. And we saw that on full display in this NFC championship game in Lumen, as they had earned themselves the number 1 seed on top of all of it going into this game. Pretty cool stuff.
It's funny, though, looking back, there were signs that it was possible, because even going into the season, doing our look at the division rivals, and San Fran had their own issues, LA had their issues, and I don't even think we expected either of those teams to be as good as they were this year. And then looking around at how the rest of the NFC performed, some of those teams dropped off that maybe you expected to do well. Okay, were you pulling my chain then when you thought that we could go ahead and win the division still?
No, I did think we could win the division. I think the Niners are exactly who I thought they were. Like that. Oh yeah, they're complete pretenders. Like, don't give me the however many games that they won, because it was against tomato cans, and I don't care. Like that was just one of those. Are they as good as their record? And the answer is decidedly no. And that's kind of where I thought they'd end up.
No, it's mostly the idea, though, that from what they went through, having Mac Jones as their quarterback, like even with all that, I still didn't think that they would get double-digit wins.
I guess, yeah. I probably didn't factor in the easiness of their schedule enough, and that's probably why I didn't expect them to be double digits. But the Rams, like, I kind of expected them to be right here, neck and neck, going down the stretch. And I said in the offseason when Stafford was doing the whole back thing, I was like, bullshit. Catfish. No, right. I don't believe that for 2 seconds. He'll be just fine. But they still, to win as many games as they did, maybe it ended up working out about right. It just, we couldn't have factored in. 14 wins for Seattle is, what nobody expected. And then, gosh, when you look at some of the other, you expected Green Bay to probably be a little bit more competitive, especially after they got Micah Parsons. And unfortunately, if not for the injury, maybe they make a little bit more noise in the playoffs too. But and then expecting Eagles. Philly to fall off the way they did, kind of weird. So all of that together, here we are. Here we are. Look, and I will agree with you on the stuff outside of the division. I did not see that coming. I thought the Vikings would be better as well. And I thought the Commanders would be able to a little better. Maybe not NFC Championship good, but at least competing for the division title. Yeah, I thought Jaden would keep them frisky, but there was points in the season too that we went along and after big wins being like, I think this is a team that we could legitimately talk Super Bowl about. And I think that was leading into the first Rams game. We were talking like that, and then had some wind taken out of our sails after that one. And then the momentum builds back up, and you beat the stupid Rams. You beat the stupid Niners twice. You beat the Rams again in the NFC Championship game. And as you just said, and here we are. We are. It's crazy to think back to that first Rams game too, because at the time it was like, okay, well, we turned the ball over 4 times. You missed a 61-yard field goal. We were about a turnover or made field goal away from defeating the Rams 3 times this season. Yeah, for real. And the first game turned it over 4 times with Sam, and a little too much to overcome. The second time, he only turns it over twice, and you barely eked that one out. Like, let's not lie. That wasn't a dominant performance, but a great game. But it was the Sam Darnold performance in that game, which
started to lead you to believe, like, okay,
Yes.
here he is in a late game performance where he has to do it. Like they needed the Rashid Shaheed special teams touchdown punt return to get back into that game. But once they were back in it, like Sam was able to perform and tie it up and take it to overtime, and then to lead the drive in overtime too. That was the game where it was like, okay, I think as fans we could start. And some people, I know there's some people that were way ahead of us on this, and they're like, okay, Sam Darnold can be that guy. Like, I know for myself, I needed to actually see it to start, passing on the narrative that had been built to the point to where he arrived here this season. Because going back again, not to rehash the Sam Darnold thing, but Minnesota,
it's kind of the story.
Minnesota moved on from a quarterback who won 14 games, and most teams don't do that. And when you have a chance to be around a dude and win that many games, like, it's a little weird for a team to go, oh, we're just going to pass on this guy because we think that the guy that we drafted can be even better. That is a red flag to a lot of fans in free agency to say, hey, we got to take a chance on that guy. Fortunately, John Schneider willing to take that chance, and it paid off.
Yeah. All right, couple things I want to touch on with that. One is, or three things really. One, for all the people that were on the Sam train early and they were true Sam believers from the gate, take a victory lap, my man. Enjoy. Like, you were right. It's awesome. And it's been fantastic for our team. Thank goodness for that. I think it's great. Nothing but love. Secondly, the idea that they moved off the 14-3 guy there in Minnesota, especially when the contract that the Seahawks gave him, where basically they could be out after this year. They could be. They're not gonna be. No, but they could technically get out. After this year.
If Sam would have tanked this year, there was a safety net in there for the team.
Right. So what's to say that the Vikings couldn't offer him a similar contract, even if the dollar amount looks huge at first with the rookie sitting coming off of injury? And they didn't want to do that because of just what it looked like at the end of the season. And they were in the building with the guy. And so it was for me difficult to get on board with that. And then the third thing, we're really congratulating John on this and really taking victory laps for him. And I mean, rightfully so to a huge degree. But if you think as a human being out there that you couldn't drop Geno Smith into this situation for this year,
oh, come on,
not get a similar result, you're catfishing crazy. Like, you are. And that's something, if we've learned anything over the last year and a half when it comes to these veteran quarterbacks and retreads and all that, situation matters more than anything in the world. It matters more than anything in the world. And look, so did it work out great for Sam here? And am I happy that we have him? And was I wrong about him not being able to do it in these moments? Yes, emphatically yes. With that said, the people acting like there's no possible way this could have happened otherwise, okay. We'll never know. We'll never know.
You could count me in the catfishing crazy group, I guess, in point number 3. That's fine.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you are.
I didn't want to get into a discussion about Geno Smith that's going to be embarrassing for you, but here we are.
There's nothing embarrassing about facts, Brandon. Like, nothing that I said is factually untrue.
It just can't be proven. That's all there is to it.
Can't be disproven either, bud.
The great part about that type of argument. But our Seahawks are in position to go and win the Super Bowl against the stupid New England Patriots, which leading up to this game, I was rooting hard for the Broncos because of what we're already starting to see. It's going to be a couple weeks of Malcolm Butler highlights, which, okay, that's fine.
Yep.
There's going to be the Patriots fans wearing the Sherman disgusted face blown up on T-shirts, apparently. Mm-hmm. And you have to deal with that. But we also get to play a Patriots team, Adam, that I'm kind of excited about playing too.
I'm excited about playing them. Is it a surefire lock that we win this football game? No, it is not. Is one team better equipped to win this game than the other? Clearly, yes. Like this isn't the 49ers for 2 weeks in a row, right? Where we walked into those games and I mean, at least me specifically being like, this isn't even close. Like these two teams aren't on the same level. And some people will talk about the Patriots that way. And I think that's a mistake. Now, are they as good as defensively as Patriot fans seems to think they are after facing abysmal offenses and terrible weather and not giving up many points? Remains to be seen. I'm certainly not sold on that, but you're going to get those comparisons. And as far as the play that shall not be talked about and the Sherman face t-shirts and all that stuff, play it away. Have a ball. Put it all out there. You know why? We don't care. We don't care.
Do not care. the quote of the post game.
Yeah. So go ahead. It doesn't hurt me anymore. You can't hurt me with that anymore. And it's on to, Super Bowl Sunday where we get to take those guys on, but we still get to relish in Rams misery in the indelible mark, Brandon. And we'll go through the game here more, but the indelible mark from that game for me that's just stuck in my head is Sean McVay after the 4th and 4 with his play sheet up against his face, screaming into the abyss of a loss, and just watching his misery gave me more joy than I should be comfortable admitting in public like this, but it did. It gave me so much sports joy.
Yeah, we've had 2 amazing moments, especially within the division, with seeing John Lynch throw a hissy fit after a Kenneth Walker 3rd and 17 run that they convert for a first down. Yeah. And then Sean McVay having his hissy fit after missing on a 4th and 4 that turns the ball back over to the Seahawks.
And, the thing is, I mean, I listened to Sean and we just lucked into playing.
Lucked into it.
No, we just lucked into it. Just another reason to take the sports hate from, up here to the stratosphere. It's going, my sports hate is going on the top of Starlink's or Elon's next big ass rocket that goes to the moon. I want to put it there because that's where it belongs. It belongs that high up in the sky. We lucked into it. Have some freaking class. What a joke.
Maybe Sean just doesn't allow the guys on his team to have the type of freedom that maybe Mike allows our guys to have, because one of the things watching that play back, and I saw Mina Kimes do a breakdown on it. I thought that she gave a lot of credit to DeMarcus Lawrence for maybe recognizing that he needed to drop into coverage for it. I think that looking back on it, that D-Law was the dude who, because they only ended up rushing 3.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked initially like it was Julian Love who was going to be blitzing off of the edge and providing the pressure that way. And it almost looked to me like it was a Julian Love recognition moment of, this dude isn't going to be the one to pick up me blitzing, and is then going to drop into coverage, because he does a great job stopping as dude's going out on his route.
Yeah.
And D-Law's dropping into coverage. It looked like DeMarcus was intentionally dropping. And
yes.
And it was Julian then that was covering and also dropping to just out of recognition that he might be the hot read.
Yeah. And I think you're onto something there. If I were to try to put what I think happened in that moment and how it's coached up. So Mike McDonald on the sideline, he found his play sheet, which was just lucky. And then he chose this to play coverage on 4th and 4, which Sean McVay stupidly gone for it, which was lucky. So then he did that. And then he luckily found his headset and called in the call and let them know that they were only rushing somewhere between 3 and 4. and then luckily had coached Julian Love for weeks and weeks and weeks. I mean, just out of dumb luck, found him at practice and coached him on this play that he had the option to continue with the back if he was coming out or continue his rush to the pass. I mean, just by dumbass luck. Like, it's just so crazy the horseshoe Mike Macdonald has shoved up his ass to luckily do all of those things. And then on top of that, for the luck of Julian Love to remember what he was supposed to do, and then luckily, like, it's just the luck of it. It's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable how lucky it is. It's not like, having 14 fumbles bounce right back to you like the Rams have the last 5 games. I mean, that's the skill involved in that is just off the charts. Like, it's amazing.
There is one component to that play that I think that maybe we did get a little bit lucky. I think that we're lucky that Stafford didn't go ahead and throw the pass anyway, because after Julian is stopping to recover, then if Stafford lays it up over the top, I think the back gets behind both defenders.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you want to call that luck, I guess. I mean, I call that poor decisions and a quarterback making a poor decision and losing the football game. Well, it wasn't really him. His head coach lost the football game and then tried to absolve himself and his quarterback from losing the football game in that moment by blaming missed luck. Like, it's just, and it's just a more class from LA, just the classiest organization.
And maybe it was just because McVay in the moment after the game was upset.
Probably.
I think that because, I mean, he's not wrong in that you wouldn't draw up a play defensively to drop 2 dudes into the same area. Like, that's unconventional, right?
Yeah.
But
maybe
I feel like when you coach your guys to allow them some freedom, that's what then allows them to make plays in moments where they maybe pick up on some tendencies or recognition. Like that part, there's no luck involved in that part.
There's no luck involved in that part. And what's to say, he's just so dead sure, like, oh, they wouldn't do that. Well, okay. Everybody knows the Achilles of a Mike Macdonald defense over time. If you look at him at Baltimore here, different personnel, the whole 9, is the swing passes out to the back. So clearly Sean was pissed because that was the primary for the play. Yeah. And who's to say that Mike was like, yeah, that's my weakness. And we know this is the biggest moment of the game. I know this is what the crap you're probably going to try to pull and actually have 2 guys go out there if Kyron Williams releases that. Maybe that's the lucky part, is that he happened to call the play for Williams to run towards Love and D-Law. Like, maybe if he goes the other way, we don't get quote unquote lucky. And you're right. It might be just a shot in the moment. Like, that's the way he wanted to express himself, but I don't care. I'm giving him no grace. Why? Because sports hate. Like, that's what this is.
Yeah. Yeah, screw that guy. He's a big jerk for not being more gracious in the loss.
Yeah. He's a loser this season. Didn't make it to the Super Bowl. Current champions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the way this game started off too, just even on that first drive of the game, is I think because there were moments throughout this game that definitely flipped it in favor of our Seahawks. And I even go back to that very first drive where, we win the coin toss, Rams receive the kick, and they go 3 and out on their very first drive. And you start off with Ernest Jones stopping a Kyron Williams run for only 4 yards. They pick up 3 more on second down with a short pass to Puka. And then Riq Woolen, the guy who ends up being one of the goats of the game, or nearly a goat of the game, he's the one that makes that third down stop, defends the pass going to Puka, and the Rams have to punt, go 3 and out to start the game. With the way that they had been able to move the ball throughout most of the game, it's plays like that, a 3 and out like that was very beneficial early on.
Yeah, it really was. And when you get them to go 3 and out after kicking the ball away, knowing that you've deferred, you're getting the ball at halftime and all that, you're now playing a whole possession ahead is how it feels. And it really did kick off the game for the Seahawks in the right way. And honestly, after watching that drive, I was like, okay, this is going to be closer to game 1 than game 2. And nope.
Nope. Because the third quarter was made that very evident. But the Seahawks able to get the ball back. They drive down. They only had to convert 2 third downs on their touchdown drive that culminated with Kenneth Walker running it in from 2 yards. But the one third down that they did convert, the reason why they didn't have to convert a whole lot of third downs is because they nailed a 51-yard pass down the right sideline to Rashid Shaheed, Adam.
Yeah. And it was kind of the moment we've been waiting for with Shaheed in this offense for how long? Since the day the trade was made. Like that was the element that we're all talking about. Oh, he's going to stretch it, and that's going to open things up for JSN and Barner and all of that. And we hadn't really seen it. And it's really nice quarterbacking by Sam in that moment. He recognizes the coverage. He recognizes that the safety stays on the far hash there. He's got a clean one-on-one to Shaheed. And then it's an A ball that he throws. Like if you're going to be like crazy nitpicky,
maybe A minus,
a tiny bit more pace on that ball. And it's a touchdown because Shaheed has to take about half a step up. But the thing is that in that moment, I think that's the right way to throw that football in terms of, look, don't make it so it's just off his fingertips and you just miss.
Right.
Like make sure he can get out there, run under it, had a nice loft to it, and it's off to the races on the first drive. And then if it's not the Shaheed bomb going over their heads, it's K9 tearing it up on the ground.
Yeah, and he did once we covered it. Shoot, it was after a JSN pass for 16 yards that then they're down inside the 10-yard line, and it's just K9 for 3, K9 for 4, and on that 4 yards, which we covered in 3 out, dude was spinning off tackles and making it down to the 2, which gave him a quick and easy route to the outside to run it in for 2 yards and score the first touchdown of the game.
Yep. And you're off to the races, 7-0. You're feeling good. You're in your house. The 12s are going nuts. Lumen is rocking. I haven't seen any earthquake charts yet, but I'm sure that it was registering in some way.
Yeah. I did see some earthquake charts for this game.
Some seismic activity.
Yeah, I think at the end there was some seismic activity. What was the one that I saw? Well, maybe as we go through this, I'll recognize the one that ends up. Oh, I think it was that deep throw to Shaheed. That was actually that had the biggest spike, and so you had the Shaheed quake from the last game, and then you have another. Speed quake. That's what we called it.
I like the speed quake. I do. I like that moniker for it. I don't know. We'll have to ask Rashid.
Yeah.
We're going to get him this offseason.
Well,
I don't know how.
He had another seismic event catching that 51-yard pass. So that's pretty fun, too, that he got to kick things off back-to-back weeks and have the quakiest plays to start off each game.
No doubt about it. But they get up 7-0. Rams get the ball back, 6 plays, 47 yards. They're able to get a field goal. But really, Brandon, on that drive, what happened outside of the bomb to Nacua?
Yeah, nothing. That was it.
And in all honesty, Witherspoon, I thought, actually had pretty good coverage in that play. He recovered well, is probably the better way to put it. He got toasted early, but he recovered well. He was able to get back in the play. Had his hand right up in there between the ball and Puka's hands and tries to rip the ball out, but Puka's got strong ass hands like he does.
It's annoying.
It's super annoying, but he's awesome at that, like contested catches. So they did only get the one play. So even after that sequence there, Brandon, when I'm watching the game, I'm like, oh, Rams have done jack. This has been the best first quarter that you could possibly have. And like we're rolling. And we're feeling it.
You say it's the best first quarter you could possibly have because after that field goal kick by the Rams, Seattle possessed the ball for 7 minutes. It was almost it almost ended up being a preview of how they were able to close out the game. And it was they got the ball at 8:15 to go in the first quarter. And then they end up kicking a field goal with under a minute left on the clock. They were able to spin that entire drive. They only had 1 3rd and 2 to convert, which was a throw to JSN on 3rd down. The other 3rd and 9 was one that they ended up not converting right before kicking the field goal. So not really a question of go for it or kick the field goal either, because it's 3rd and 9. You're down on the 10. I mean, I suppose there's coaches that are silly enough to maybe go for it in that scenario. But
Ben Johnson,
or even, gosh, Broncos coach Sean, the other Sean.
Payton. Sean Payton, yeah. That's an interesting decision. That's a long conversation. That decision from Sean Payton. I've got mixed feelings about it, but whatever.
Maybe that's second half of show conversation, because I think it ends up being the reason why we're not playing the Broncos this in a couple weeks. But
no. That has to do with the part of anatomy.
there's that too.
Yeah,
but So Seahawks kick the field goal. They go back up a score, 7 points. Rams get the ball back, and again, they're not able to do a whole lot.
Yeah, and just to finish off the last drive for the Hawks there as well, that was the Ken Walker drive. Like that's when we really felt his presence, and he was ripping it and catching a couple balls as well.
Was that the one up the middle where he broke the ankles of
Omar Spates?
Spates.
Yeah, he's gonna have trouble walking for the rest of his life after that one. Like that's tough. Ken Walker was fantastic, and I didn't want to gloss that over, because as the game goes on, like, we get back to Ken a little bit, but really the story of this game is how much it shifted for both teams in style and some of the things they were trying to accomplish, specifically for the Seahawks. This was such a great game that showed the adjustments like throughout. So that last Seahawks drive, obviously Ken Walker drive. Then you get to this LA drive, which they end up with the field goal. And as you said, like, they get a little bit going here and there, but nothing that makes you feel like they're about ready to have an A+ Stafford game.
Yeah, they had one 11-yard run, so borderline explosive run by Kyron Williams up the middle. And other than that, let's see. Oh, we got our first Matt Stafford sack for the entire season.
Yeah.
By DeMarcus Lawrence. And that almost it puts him out to a 50-yard field goal. I was about to say it almost put him out of field goal range, but gosh, putting dudes out of field goal range in the league now is like you have to be about 60 plus.
Well, that Stafford sack fumble, the skill of the Rams to make sure that ball went right back to them rather than, the other team. It was just so good. The skill of it. Like, I just want to make sure that we recognize how little luck was involved there, because it's just so much skill.
It was so Matt Stafford knew to bounce that ball off the ground and into the arms of Kevin Dotson.
It just I mean, the practice, the forethought, the planning, just again the skill, man, unbelievable.
Oh, I was so mad. I was so mad that they got that easy the fumble luck in their favor. That was fumble luck play number 1.
Right. Yeah. No. Wait. You said luck again, like they actually got
fumble
some
skill
luck.
Play number 1.
Yeah. No. I just be sure to get in the mind of Sean McVay, where everything that's lucky as catfish goes their way, and it's total skill, and we have one thing go our way, and we were lucky. So
yeah. So 50-yard field goal. Oh, they on that drive, that was what set him up and put him into field goal range, was the pass to Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
So they had that going for them. That got him into field goal range. The sack backed him up a little bit. They kicked the field goal. And then comes our first punt of the game after, this was the drive where you had the first down throw to JSN, and you're like, all right, we're moving the ball. And then the first down after that, was the bobbled snap. And I thought it was very nice to see Sam Darnold just fall on the ball, not trying to pick it up, not make anything happen. He just laid there on the ground. And I was thankful for that in the moment. But then he got sacked on the very next play.
Right. This was the point in the game where you realized that the only thing that was going to stop Kubiak today was ourselves. Yeah. And every drive that really didn't get done what we needed to get done was self-inflicted wounds. And it's because of all the luck that we have. And so Sam, he drops the snap. Really, if you're going through it, the one negative play of the day. And this is how you know how bullshit PFF is, because the quarterback grades between Stafford and Darnold were wildly different. And,
really?
Yeah. And then host man is like, oh, I mean, he had the fumbled snap. So, we weight that a certain kind of way.
Matt Stafford had the fumbled.
Nope.
Fumbled on that sack.
Don't worry about it. Whatever with PFF. But they both finished with like relatively equal passing stats. Almost dead nuts. Yeah.
I think the quarterback rating was like 0.2 in Sam's favor over Matt Stafford. Yeah. Crazy that PFF would score them wildly different just based off of.
It was like 20 points different.
That's silly. I didn't even look at that part. I looked at a couple of the dudes who had some of the best grades, and that was about it.
Yeah, I generally watch the PFF guys, their post-game shows, and so they always kind of go through it. And they always talk about the quarterbacks. And boy, if there was anything in the world that has convinced me that I like their coverage, I like them as analysts and all that, but the company they work for is a catfishing joke. And like, you don't never ever take their scores seriously. This entire playoff, just watching them grade stuff out and being like, yeah, there's no way that matches up with what happened.
I think, there was, I think a Seahawks defender that scored really poorly too. Like Ernest Jones, I think had like some crazy low grade, or it was one of them. Anyway, and it didn't make any sense to me. But
a bad drive, and we self-destruct there.
Self-destruct. Clint Kubiak can't find his play sheet for that 3rd and 27 play that would have gotten him the first down. Instead, he decides to run it with George Halani. Gets 3 yards.
Well, all good OCs have like a volume of 3rd and 27 plays that they roll through, right? Yeah.
And then the punt. And then skillfully recovered muffed punt by Xavier Smith. Classfully have it bounce off of him and fall to the ground so that then he could just jump on the ball and take the football exactly where they wanted at their own 13-yard line.
You know what's interesting too, and maybe the rest of you won't be able to find these online, but I was able to. I found a bunch of videos from inside the Rams special teams meetings throughout the week leading up to the NFC Championship game, and you'd be surprised. You would be how many times they worked on Xavier Smith fumbling the catfishing ball and then having it bounce right back to him as Dareke Young stood there. Like they even had like a Dareke Young dummy. Like right there, because they just knew with all the skill and foresight and knowledge that Sean McVay and their special teams coach has, which special teams coach is it for the Rams right now? Is it their first one, their second one, or are they even on a third? I don't even know.
I think it's a second one.
But I don't know. Because of all the skill. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you don't get to where you are as the Rams. You don't make it to an NFC championship by having bad special teams. Because how could you? No, you practice your special teams. You promote your backup special teams coach midway through the season because you're thinking ahead, knowing that your special teams coach is probably going to get hired by another team, and so you want to move on to your backup special teams coach late in the season, so that way you get out ahead of it.
The 4D chess to get to the point to where you. Don't invest in your special teams. Notoriously, like this is notorious around the league. How much he's even said it in an interview. He hates special teams. He hates it, but that's why he's so genius, is that he hates it so much that he gets terrible players that will fumble, but have a knack at fumbling right back to themselves, just for fun. And also too, to demonstrate how the foresight that Sean McVay has and how everything works out in a football game with all of his skill. It's just amazing. It's amazing.
Dude's a genius. Yeah.
Dude's a genius, but he was a genius on this drive. 12 plays, 87 yards, Brandon.
Yeah.
This was the moment where
I think all Blake Corum drive.
Yeah, where all of us Seahawks fans were like, defense is going to have their hands full today.
And not only that, it culminated with a pass to the left to Kyren Williams, 9 yards, touchdown, nobody covering him.
Yeah. Just
so where we lucked out and had 2 people on him earlier, or toward the end of the game.
It's just that luck is just tough.
Somehow we lucked our way into covering some other dude with like 2 or 3 guys apparently.
Right. That was a tough play. They end up in zone, and E-Man gets kind of like caught up in the wash. And I don't know if it was him or the linebacker that was supposed to get over. Ernest
Jones that might have, because it looked like he was trying to get over that direction, but the play was kind of flowing. All the rest of the play was flowing to the right.
Yeah, it was a good pick play by Sean.
Lucky
for real
pick play, but yeah.
Huh?
Lucky pick play, maybe.
Lucky, yeah. No, that was legit skill. That was good play calling. Sean did a lot of stuff.
I thought we were trying to do the reverse of everything.
No, only in the absurd moments when because it's not funny. Like if we do it the entire time, like if we acknowledge reality and the things that they did right, like for reals, then that gives us a leg to stand on when we make fun of all the dumb shit that he thinks was so skillful and we were so lucky.
Well, they did get the touchdown there, and yeah, at this point you're thinking, well, especially after the Seahawks' next drive, where they go 4 and out again. Well, actually, this was the first 3 and out of the game because they did pick up the one JSN first down on the other drive where they had to punt. This was the first legit 3 and out by the Seahawks offense.
It was, and you go 2-yard run, incomplete. And this is kind of where you saw that the Rams had adjusted. Like early in the game, I think they were going with the mindset of like, I don't believe this running game from the last few weeks that you guys are touting. Beat us with K9 and we'll lock down on the stuff that Sam's going to do. And then it seemed like in this drive, when they started off with the first down run and they only pick up 2 yards, that the Rams had shifted their philosophy and made an adjustment, and they were going to shut that down on early downs and then make Sam beat them. And again, as you're in the flow, it didn't quite work out the first time, but you saw Kubiak adjust nicely as we went on.
And this is where then it got a little puckery because you're down 13-10 after that Kyren Williams touchdown, and now you're kicking it back to the Rams with 1:33 to go, and they still had 2 of their timeouts.
Yeah, and that's a freaking football eternity, and it gets you wondering, especially after they had just got 87 yards, what this is going to look like here. And you're talking to yourself, at least I was thinking, all right, well, if we can at least hold them to a field goal here, like we get the ball back at half, we can still get up at that point on the first drive. But there's a man named Nick Eman-Wari that now plays for this football team. And you know what Nick said when he thought about all that? Oh, hell no.
Yeah, I will do this by myself.
Yep.
And on 2nd and 5, he breaks up a pass to Puka. On 3rd and 5, breaks up a pass to Ronnie Rivers. And then in between those moments, the Rams had to use one more of their timeouts, and then they punted the ball back to Rashid Shaheed. Smartly, I guess, in terms of their special teams prowess, they were kicking the ball into the end zone, and they were punting the ball very high up into the air for Rashid Shaheed.
Yeah, they were terrified of Rashid, no doubt about it, and rightfully so. I mean, he's a heck of a player, a heck of a returner. It was funny after the 3rd down incompletion. Obviously, we saw Woolen get the taunting penalty later. I can tell you why that's different than what E-Man does here, but he's walking past Stafford as they're coming off the thing, and he's telling him, yeah, all day, try me again, you old graybeard. Like, let's go. And he's talking some stuff, but he never stops his stride. He's not saying it to the whole bench. He's never warned by the official once. That's good trash talk, right? Like, and I know it's a stupid line that we shouldn't have to walk, but it's there. And E-Man did a good job in that instance. And it got under Stafford's skin a little bit. Maybe that was for the worse. I don't know, but
it might have been because the way that Stafford played the third quarter, holy smokes. But before we get there, this was the Sam Darnold JSN connection drive because on the 1st and 10, it's a pass out of bounds to JSN. Darius Williams is like right there in JSN's back pocket too. And Jackson powers through, gets that first down. There's an incompletion to Kupp, but then the deep middle throw to JSN. Cam Curl puts a lick on him, and Jackson just gets up, celebrates, and there they are. They're down to, what was it? The 22-yard
25? Line. I don't know. Yeah, something like that.
22-yard line.
There you go. Yeah, and really it's kind of one of those drives where it's like, all right, realistically, this is kind of a one-play drive. And it was that bomb to JSN and Kubiak. What a play design, too. He figured he was going to catch the too high shell look, whether that's straight quarters or quarter half or whatever, cover, whatever. But with that said, he drew something up on the left-hand side that really it spun Curl into, curls. Like
he did a little pirouette out there.
Yeah. And, was just concerned about all sorts of stuff going on around him and didn't have much of a chance. And JSN cooks him. And then this was your brand in on 3 in, 3 out the other day that we did with Clinton. And it was a great play to pick because the balls to catch that ball from JSN. I mean, just wow.
And not to put anybody else on the team down, but we've seen Shaheed run a similar route in past games, and I don't think he hangs on to that the way that JSN's able to hang on to it.
There's few receivers in the league that could.
I mean, I didn't even expect JSN to hang on to it, to be honest. That's why I made it my brand in because, I mean, not a lot of dudes can take a hit like that and hold on to the football.
Yeah. It's a special breed. It's a special mentality. Just knowing I'm getting crushed no matter what. So might as well catch it. That's what JSN did, and the toughness to go along with it. Again, we talked about that a lot on 3 in, 3 out, and I think rightfully so. And then leads to the touchdown pass to JSN eventually.
Yeah, well, let's give George Holani a little bit of love because he was the dude who, on the next play, he got it down inside the 10 on a 13-yard catch. I mean, George Holani had not played in an NFL game for weeks. And here he was spelling canine and not only just being out there to, pick up 2-3 yards here and there whenever canine needed some rest. Here he was on the 1-minute drive out there and in pass coverage, and then out there in a passing route and getting them down inside the 10-yard line.
Yep. And look, I think all of us as 12s, we had confidence in Holani coming in. We've seen him a little bit. He's competent, and he could do most of the Charbonnet things, and showed it here.
And I don't know where you were at when they called the false start on Sundell on first down. Backed him up to 1st and 14. 30 seconds left. I'm thinking, man, should we just take 2 knees, kick the field goal, and go into halftime?
Oh, that's hilarious. You know exactly what my first thought was? And I swear to God, this is true. And because I try to be honest about this stuff so you don't feel like it's revisionist history, people. But like for real, I was like, honestly, not so bad. It gives us a little more space to work with down here as we're definitely going to take some shots to the end zone rather than having it being condensed from like the 9.
Yeah. Well, they tried going over the middle to JSN, and then Sam hits him, and just the shot that Sam takes on laying it up there to JSN over there near the right or the left pylon. That it was a big time throw by Sam, and he didn't have a defender right there on top of Jaxon, but I think that it has to do with the route that JSN was able to run, but the pressure that he was facing, then to lay it up there. Nice to see Sam get that touchdown before the end of the half.
Yeah, a couple things. Number one, Landman screws up there and doesn't carry with JSN because he releases from the backfield. And that really does, again, Kubiak in his bag all day, like just changing the matchups with just.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because he wasn't lined up outside. He was lined up in the halfback spot.
That's right. And then so he runs out. Landman decides to drop him because he feels like he has help over the top. And then Kupp holds the defender down low. It actually runs kind of like a hook/return route. And then it's just wide ass open. And here's the thing is that Sam getting crushed on that. Like there's a lot of quarterbacks I've seen over the years where they try to rifle that one in there and it can cause an easy miss, right? Mm-hmm. Trying to just putting on a rope. But instead, Sam just says, look, I've got acres of space. Just lay it out there. Make sure he can get it, take the hit and take the points, take the touchdown. And big time throw under pressure, touchdown. Gets you to double up right before half. Awesome job by Sam Darnold. Awesome job.
And that's a good point, too, because there are players that, especially if they're not big-time moment players, they make mistakes in those types of moments where it's almost a little too easy. And because that can add an element of pressure that's where it's a layup and not layups in the basketball sense, because in terms of a distance of throwing the football there, but a layup in terms of how wide open he was.
Yeah. And, difficulty of throw, right?
Yeah. It's like, you should just be able to make that throw, but big time moments, NFC championship, division rivals, you're only going to have, you're going to be going to third down. Then if you don't make that throw, he makes it, touchdown Seahawks, and now we're going into halftime with the lead and getting the ball back.
Yeah, and just the last thing on your point there about the throw there, Brandon, is how many times have we seen the patented Aaron Rodgers hands on the helmet? Not that it's always Aaron, but like from any quarterback, but he's number one at it where he's doing that thing, and didn't happen here because Sam held his poise.
Yep. They get the ball after the half. A nice mix of K9. Well, you get a couple K9 runs. No, this was the skillful other punt by Michael Dixon, because they do pick up a first down. But then it's an incomplete pass, a K9 run that goes for -2. Sam gets sacked by Jared Verse. Then they're punting it away. But, maybe sometimes punting can be your best offense when you have special teams prowess that results in your special teams coach getting fired just a couple weeks ago.
I didn't realize how much you love the word prowess.
Prowess.
Okay. But with that
how many times have I used it? Do I need to start making count?
No, only twice. It's just more the enunciation where you're having fun with it. And I love it. No, at the end of the day, this again is where the Seahawks get so dead ass lucky for going out of their way to draft a really good punter from down under who has all sorts of crazy punts with crazy spins and all that. It's just the sheer luck of that draft pick to be made for them and have it dropped into their lap, and then Jay Harbaugh and crew to incorporate that into their special team game plan. What, 5 horseshoes up your butt with that? Just crazy. Just crazy.
And then they get the recovery, and this was a cool play that, I saw a breakdown of this out on YouTube. Who was Chase Daniel. Chase Daniel broke this play
interesting. Okay.
Down out on YouTube, because he was pointing out how And on the broadcast, they talked about how they rolled the coverage a little bit over to JSN's side, but he pointed out how Jaxon identified it being a corner blitz because you could see him point. And I think it was a mark for K9 then to pick up the corner who was lined up across from JSN because he blitzed. And then they dropped one of the safeties down to cover JSN. The other safety then had the deep part of the field that Jax was lined up on, which opened up Bobo to make the in cut toward the middle of the field wide open, and just another dart throw, which Chase Daniel also pointed out just how great of a throw this was by Sam Darnold to hit Bobo in the end zone.
Yeah, because he ends up with some pressure up the middle as he's getting rid of the football.
A little bit thanks to Sundell and Bradford, who Bradford he didn't want to have anything to do with maybe helping out Jalen at all and thought that maybe Abe needed some help.
Yeah, about the only thing that didn't really hit this year. But yeah, another tough rep out of Bradford. Look, I mean, he has wins too. He just has
I had to point it out because
I know. But because he has so many more bad losses than everybody else. Like, it's just how it is. And the tape is the tape, man. Sorry. Like, it just is. But Kubiak does a great job in this play. I talked about this on, I think, the post-game show or whatever. My favorite play of the game out of Kubiak design-wise, just with the idea of getting Bobo out there in 12 personnel, everything screams run, and then you've got a little bit of play action, and then you get Bobo isolated, and then Bobo does Bobo things and wins his route, and then makes a great catch, by the way, too, kind of stretching out for it. And hats off to Bobo.
Yeah, for that to be his fourth
catch number
of the
4.
Year.
Yeah.
That's wild. Like
4 for 7.
We've seen more out of him in past years, but they just haven't used him that way. And like you said, when Bobo's out on the field, it's generally an indicator that they're running the football.
Yeah, and I had heard too that from somebody who broke down the splits, but like from third down to second down to first down, the likelihood of it being a run when Bobo's on the field, like, just kept increasing. So for it to have been on first down with that look in that situation, it screams run to film study.
Absolutely. So Seahawks get the touchdown there, and you're thinking, oh, this feels great. 24-13. We're up 2 scores. Man, oh man, with our defense, like, that we are in the driver's seat now in the second half. And MVP Matt Stafford says, "Oh, is that what you think? Not so much. Dink, dink, dink down the field with, well, it wasn't even, three throws. It was a 40-yard throw to Colby Parkinson, which he fumbles out of bounds. Again, maybe some fumble luck there.
No, they work on that every week.
Colby fumbles it out of bounds. Then Matt Stafford goes deep to Devontae down the right side. Both of those, Josh Jobe out in coverage. Yeah. And then Devontae Adams wide open for a touchdown. And it's back to 24-20.
Yeah, and it was bam, bam, bam. You said dink, 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 but it was, a couple big-time balls there that Stafford puts out there. And this was the moment in the game where both coaches adjusted as well, where I said, all right, it's bombs away time. It's bombs away. And they started throwing haymakers. And yes, once they score here, Brandon, it looks like this is clearly going to get into a shootout. Yeah, I think most people in the world go, I'd take Matt Stafford over Sam Darnold in a shootout. And most people in the world were wrong on Sunday.
Exactly. And one of the things where it came down to where it was, because 1st and 10, they run the ball with Helani. 2nd and 7, K9 ends up getting tackled for a loss by Landman, and it's 3rd and 9. And then Sam Darnold, Cooper Kupp, 12 yards. That 3rd down right there may have been one of the most critical downs of the game.
Oh, without question. And was this the one where he stretches out, right?
No, that was at the end.
Okay. All right. So
I think this one was
the
it
wide
was over
open
to the
one.
left. It was wide open,
Yeah.
but he had to it was a little bit low.
Yes.
And he caught it
Good
like
catch.
almost at his knees.
Yeah, it was a good catch.
It was good.
Professional. Yeah. And gets first down, in a big one for the team in that moment. And look, again, another guy that I'm excited about, but made a great play there.
He's been good though for some critical third down moments.
Yeah, the last 3-4 games he's been saving it, no doubt.
Yeah,
no doubt. He didn't do crap for like 10 weeks.
It's cool to have these moments though against the Rams, because I don't know if you saw the article that came out this past week either about
we're talking about that.
Are we going to talk about that later?
We're going to talk about that.
Yeah. All right. Kupp picks up that first or the first down there, and they don't have to face another third down until it's 3rd and 3 at the 13-yard line, and it's Cooper Kupp going into the end zone, Adam.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of the Kupp drive, right? We have the JSN drive at the end of half. We got the big Bobo catch, and then this is
it was kind of the Sam Darnold drive too, because I mean, between that throw to Kupp, he had the throw to Helani, a throw to JSN, throw to Barner. So Sam marched us down the field on this drive.
Precision, in control, just the highest level of quarterback play that you could hope for out of a guy like on that drive. Really, in the third quarter as a whole, really the game as a whole. Yeah, it was fabulous. This is kind of where Sam took control of the game and the offense took control of the game. And they decided to go back and forth with Stafford here. And
so we're up 31-20, and Seahawks fans are thinking, okay, here we go with our defense. It's late in the third quarter. Like we got our defense could close this thing out, shut down this Rams offense. Yeah, okay, they got the one big drive, but Mike's going to make the adjustment, right, to where we can get off the field. And the Rams, they get to 3rd and 12, Adam.
Yeah.
They get to 3rd and 12.
Yeah.
A play defended by Riq Woolen.
Yeah.
They get off the field.
Yeah.
And Riq couldn't help himself. He gets a taunting call. 15-yard penalty. A 3rd down stop turns into a 1st down for the stupid Rams.
Yeah.
I got an email. I got an email from Carrie in Wilmar, Minnesota. Said any player taunting should be fired. It almost cost the Seahawks the game.
I hear it, Carrie. It's interesting that there's a lot of different opinions regarding the taunting penalty for whatever reason. Look, I think that a lot of things can be true at the same time. So first off, is the taunting rule stupid at this stage in the playoffs against a divisional rival? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Let the man talk their crap. And if the men end up in a fight, then let them fight. Like, who cares? Like, let them play, let them be, let them, settle this out there, so they don't talk crap all off season, right? Like, let's keep it here. Let's keep it between the lines. That said, it's also true that this is the rule, that we all know that the NFL wants none of this. It's also true that the referee looks at Riq and says, we've had about enough of that. And he just keeps going. And he tells him again, we've had about enough of that. And he just keeps going. And then he's talking to everybody on the sideline, and he gets the flag, and it really does hurt the team. So is it stupid for Riq to do that? Yes. Is it a stupid rule? Yes. Do we want it to be different? Yes. But it happened. Like, that's just how it is.
You know what bothered me even more was Sean McVay fist pumping a flag. It's his skill of
drawing it out of Riq Woolen on the sideline. That's why he was celebrating.
Now that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't like it, but I guess he would consider it to be skill on his part that he did draw that flag. So
yeah, he basically did the Jedi mind trick on him, right? He's like, this is not the silence you're looking for. And so then Riq just had to let it go.
And the very next play, deep pass, Puka rolls into the end zone untouched, touchdown. They're back within 4.
Look, and this is where Sean has legit skill, right? Like going right back at Riq with a double move right out of the gate, boom. Because I tell you what, I'm not a player, obviously, but I'm just some dude on a couch. But it took me probably 2 or 3 drives to get over the Riq taunting penalty. Like, I was so angry for so long. Like, I can't imagine what it's like for the player in his mind. So, of course, Riq isn't going to be on the top of his game. He's going to be over aggressive. He's going to bite on a double move, and he does, and they get the immediate touchdown, and it makes it look even worse for poor Riq and costs him money this offseason.
It cost him money?
Oh, yeah. On his free agency bid here.
Oh, okay.
Coming up this offseason. Yeah. It's costing him money.
I thought that maybe there was a clause in his contract for like not giving up a touchdown or something like that.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't think yeah, nothing like that.
That's probably not the case, but I know he didn't give up a touchdown the week before because the Niners didn't score any touchdowns.
Who?
Yeah. When Rams get it close there, are Seahawks able to move the ball a bit on this next drive? They a couple short passes to backs. The K9 had a 10-yard catch. Halani had a 5-yard catch. Then Sam had that 14-yard scramble that picked up the first down. And it was kind of after that where they get across midfield. They're driving. It kind of feels like, okay, well, we threw a haymaker, they threw a haymaker. We threw a haymaker, and it felt like another one incoming. But then Cam Kinchen's blitzes on 1st and 10 puts the team back to 2nd and 19.
Yeah.
Jared Verse, even with the help of a Jared Verse neutral zone infraction and getting to 3rd and 10, not enough to because an incomplete pass for Shaheed, Kobe Durant there defending it, and then we have to punt.
Yeah, look, one of the few times that Kubiak and Sam and the receivers and the O-line couldn't pick up a 3rd and long. I mean, they picked up a number of them throughout the game. They were actually quite excellent at it. I can't remember the 3rd down numbers off the top of my head, but I believe they were just slightly over 50%. And I believe the Rams maybe converted 1, and I'm pretty sure Matt Stafford threw exactly 0 completions on 3rd and 4th down. Again, using all of his skill to get it done. Yeah.
It was a wild stat when I saw that. I didn't
feel real.
No, it didn't feel real. But yeah, looking at the team stats there, 3rd down conversions, 7 to 13 for the Seahawks on the day.
There we go.
So over 50%.
Yeah. Good stuff. Like, that's situational football. That's the stuff that wins you football games. That kind of luck of preparing for situational football.
And this is the wild part of looking at this entire game is that the Seahawks punted it away with 12:24 on the clock. They Dixon just booms it up in the air, 34-yard kick. Kyron has to do a fair catch there at the 10. And so they start their drive on the 10-yard line with 12:18 left on the clock. And the Rams essentially help us run out this clock. Now, the big part of that's the defense, right? Because the defense is, there are a lot of incomplete passes, well-defended throws. They didn't run the ball really at all in this drive, except for, a couple up the middle runs that went for no gain. It was just passes where dudes came, I guess the clock doesn't actually stop until you get inside 4 minutes anyway, but
right.
I think part of the Rams, they were content here to shorten out this game, thinking that, hey, this is going to be one of our last chances to score points. We get a touchdown drive here. Clearly that's what they were going for because they were going for it on 4th and 4 with 5 minutes left to go. They could have decided to kick a field goal. I think that was a decision that Sean could have made in that moment, knowing that they still had all of their timeouts. But instead, they choose to go for it on 4th and 4.
I was stunned when he decided to go for it on 4th and 4, and also really happy. But before the successful defensive play there that they just managed to pull out of their ass like a leprechaun dropped it on their head. But in that moment, to me, I'm like, take the points here. There's 4 minutes and change. You have all 3 timeouts plus a 2-minute warning. The Seahawks offense just had to punt, and it seems to be kind of sputtering out here a little bit. Odds are you're probably going to get the ball back. Sean doesn't do it. And the thing is that if he had, then think about what happens on that last drive for the Rams. They don't have to get a touchdown. They just need to get into field goal range. And I think that changes the whole tenor of that final drive and how things could have gone. So Sean eschewing the points there, as many of these analytic nerds, where I think it's gone too far that way. And I think we're going to start to see a swing back because, man, points are nice and points make it closer and points make it so that it changes the situation. I mean, Sean could sit and bitch about how lucky the play call was all day, but it wasn't luck that he made a dumbass decision. He just made a bad decision.
If we play it out, because it's tough to play things out. Who knows what any number of ways things could have gone.
I think like 3-4 drives out, it gets tough, right? But we're only talking about.
Oh, sure. But okay. I guess what I was going to say is you kick the field goal then. Now instead of Seattle having, because the way it worked out is the Seahawks had the ball on their 6-yard line. And I think that's part of the calculation and going for it when you're that close is that, okay, now they're backed up and you're limiting their playbook and you're counting on your defense to go ahead and make a stop there. If you do kick the field goal, then they're kicking off to the Seahawks. You're getting the ball at the 35-yard line.
Or not.
Or, they had been kicking it out of the end zone.
Sometimes. There was at least one or two that Shaheed had to field, and then
there was one, where he I think he thought about taking it out, but then he didn't catch it cleanly, and then he had to pick up the ball in the back of the end zone.
Yeah,
what did it only come out to the 20 then?
Yes. Yeah. And here's the thing: is that whether they start at the 6 or the 35, like you got to get a catfish stop either way.
Oh yeah, no, but my point was that. Say they get it at the 35. They move the ball similar to how they did anyway on that drive.
Yeah.
Then they're in field goal range rather than punting it back to and then so we could have kicked a field goal. They could have ended up getting the ball back. Who knows? And then they still would have had to try and score a touchdown on the final drive.
Sure. I mean, that's a way that it could have worked out for sure. Look,
that's why I say it's hard to play it forward, but I think that this is some of the calculations that are going through the coaches' minds of, okay, there's still enough time. They could score a field goal. And then I'm back where I started and that having to drive for a touchdown.
Yeah, potentially. Or you only have to drive and get a field
goal. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I'm doing the calculations in my mind too. And I'm like, okay, so if you have this many points and then you have 3 points, then you've got 3 more points than you had before. And like in my brain, it's crazy. Like I really love it when we have less points. And then after we do a play, we have more points. Like it's really good for our deal.
And this is where it closes out. And this 5-minute drive by the Seahawks and Clint Kubiak and Sam Darnold, it's in this moment that everyone is clutch. You don't have any penalties on the Seahawks. You don't have any fumbled snaps. There weren't even any plays on this drive where you puckered up a little bit because it was thrown into double coverage or anything. You had K9 getting a few yards. Then you had on 2nd and 6 in this play with 4:21 left, 2nd and 6. They could have run the ball again, elected to try and run more clock, but instead Sam tosses it out to K9. They pick up 15 yards, get another first down. K9. Then at this point you can go back to running the football, and now the Rams have to start burning timeouts. And this is where they take their first timeout, 3:26 left on the clock. And yes, as an offense in this moment, you're going, yeah, we just have to kill the rest of these timeouts that our opponent has.
That's right. Like 2 more first downs with their boys. Like that's what you're thinking. And also too, I think what's really cool about this drive is this shows that they didn't play this game to protect Sam Darnold with the play calling in a way that maybe you could even say about like the 49ers games, right? Yeah. Or some of the other games previously. But in this game, in the biggest moment, they put the ball in Sam's hands on a couple really critical plays, and he came through. And it really does take the last little bit of ammo for, people that are Sam Darnold believers in big moments. It puts it to bed. He did it.
Well, to that point, that 2nd and 7 play, that was a deep throw for Shaheed on 2nd and 7 coming out of the Rams timeout. That's another spot where you could have run the football. Yeah. They decided to go deep to Shaheed. Then they take their own timeout. And this is their first timeout of the game. And this is before the 3rd and 7 play to Cooper Kupp, the one where he's tackled just right at that first down marker. This play, I did see quite a bit of, there's a lot of discussion around this Cooper Kupp, whether or not it was a catch, whether or not it was catch and fumble, whether or not he actually made it to the first down marker. And I'm surprised that there's this much controversy around this play, because to me, it's fairly black and white when you slow everything down here. But there's also some Sean McVay criticism that ends up being surrounding this play. And oh my gosh, it makes me so happy that it's Kupp that helps create this controversy for Sean McVay, because after the Kupp catch, it's called a first down. They move the chains. The Rams take a timeout. And then Sean has to think about whether or not he uses his final timeout, because this isn't a play that's reviewed in under 2 minutes by upstairs. No, there is still 3:20 left on the clock. Sean had already taken his timeout. He's asking the refs if he can challenge it, even though he already called timeout, and they say, no, you cannot challenge it. If you want to challenge it, you still have a timeout, and you can use that challenge if you want to.
Yeah. And look, legit criticism as I kind of piled on Sean for going forward on 4th and 4, conversely, I have to be honest about this, did not occur to me in the moment that calling timeout and then challenging it, then you're going to burn 2 timeouts. I was like, okay, timeout, give you a few minutes. Maybe they want to booth review it. And if they don't, throw the challenge flag. But there's some people that figured that out in real time. In his defense, I think if that was your only job is to concentrate on that sort of stuff, this stuff should seem pretty obvious in the moment. But as a head coach and you're a play caller and you're doing all the things, to miss up on a sequencing of throw a challenge flag or a timeout first and that sort of thing, that's fairly defensible. A mistake, yes. One that's so egregious that you're like, oh my God, what an idiot. Not to me. In terms of the catch itself, look, man, I'm kind of getting to this point in my life where I'm beyond frustrated with people that can't figure out what they see with their own eyes on video that's obvious as catfish. It's just, I'm kind of over it.
He catches the ball with his 2 hands. He takes 2 steps and makes a football move, reaching out to try and get the first down.
Yeah, and is on top of the other dude as he's being tackled. So it's not like he's down, and the ball clearly goes over the line as he's rolling over top of the other guy.
Yes.
It's so catfish obvious, right? In whether it's world events, national events, whatever, or sports, there's so many videos out there that you should be able to look at and go, oh, that's what happened. Just going back to the 2-point play from game 2 with these guys. Like, but I don't know. Was it actually forward? Was it backward? No, it was. There's no world in which the ball went forward. Forward is forward and backward is backwards. Like, I've just had enough with this crap, man.
The one part of this, is a criticism that we have posed on multiple occasions throughout the year. This is the time in the olden days where they would bring out the chain gang and measure where the football was in relation to the first down before calling it for certain a first down.
Yep. And we can't have that because it's too old school. We need to have a virtual spot that we didn't use.
No.
I mean, it's not that they got it wrong even though. Like, I mean, if you just want to put this crap to bed.
Oh yeah. They have the pylon cameras that show as he's landing on his back and reaching the football. It's right where they spotted it.
Yeah. It's clearly over the line. It's clearly a first down. Like,
maybe not clearly, but it's right at the line.
No, it is literally clearly. Like, you can see ball, you can see line. It's from the camera that's in the mother effing pylon. Right? Yeah. Like, there's no, but what about the angle? Like, I don't know. Like, there's none of that. Like, it's not, oh my gosh. Like, I've just had enough of like, hey, visual video evidence, it's irrefutable in front of my face, but maybe that's not what it is.
So the Seahawks get the first down there, and then they get to run the ball, and then the Rams take their third and final timeout.
Yeah.
So
TikTok mother effers, because Seahawks just continue to drain the thing.
JSN picks up a 14-yard gain. They continue to move the chains, and first and 10, they run it. Which, again, first and 10, run, makes a ton of sense. Second and 10, though, they go back to throwing it to JSN, holding on Kobe Durant. Or was that throw to Kupp? Where that was the penalty, the holding penalty on Kobe. No, it was Jason.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Jason.
But yeah, then it's first down run by K9, second down run by K9, gets them to the 2-minute warning, and third down, Sam Darnold taking 5 yards, taking down 5 yards into the backfield. I guess they called that a run and not a sack.
Okay,
but whatever. Then at this point, where would you have been if Sam doesn't get tackled there and it's 4th and 2? If you're Mike McDonald, do you still punt there to try and back them up, or do you say let's go out there and win it with a 4th and 2 potentially? Say it's a no gain on third down.
How much time would have been left at that point?
There was 32 seconds left on the clock when they punted it.
Okay.
And they were at the.
So if Sam hadn't been sacked, then it would have been
it would have been at the Rams 37.
You go, and here's why you'd go. Look, the defense hasn't been the strength of your football team today, and the offense has. In one play wins you an NFC championship game at that point. You go for it.
Well, maybe fortunate then that they got to punt it, and Kyren Williams now Kyren Williams is in as punt returner, and he's fair catching it at the 7-yard line.
Yep. And then a couple passes downfield, Puka gets tackled in bounds. End of the game, we win. They suck. They go home. And it's a great day for all.
I did like how Devin was able to make that tackle in bounds.
Wouldn't have mattered.
No, it wouldn't have mattered. I don't think that. But just the fact that, say he gets out of bounds there, then you're lining up for one more play to potentially throw in the end zone, Hail Mary type play. I was just glad that it was over right there.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, anytime you drive the stake through the heart of Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan, and you get the opportunity to drive it through the heart of the Patriots, do it in Santa Clara, like, yeah, if that comes a few seconds early, feels pretty good.
So that's a look back at this game against the Rams.
Yeah. Yeah, the truly fortunate, like unbelievable, pulled it out of their butts, luckiest win in franchise history game.
So many lucky moments happened to us, and so many skillful moments for the Rams.
That's the part that stands out is all the skill.
Let's get to the second half of the show.
All right, good enough.
Getting into the second half of the show, Adam, I'm kicking things off with an email from Marty Down Under saying, simple email. How catfishing good. Super Bowl bound. Love this community, and my Hawkdom has excelled 12,000% since being a part of this podcast. Love it so much. Now let's win this catfishing bowl from Marty.
Dude, appreciate it, Marty. That's awesome. Yeah, 12,000% feels about right. And we love you back, man. We appreciate having you on the ride here all the way to the bowl, baby.
They're going to be doing it against the New England Patriots, Adam. I saw some next-gen stats coming out about the Seahawks defense, about Drake May, how things line up a little bit, how the Seahawks are fifth lowest of blitz rate in the NFL, but fourth highest pressure rate, third highest pressure rate with the blitz, the fifth highest pressure rate without the blitz, but then showing Drake May's passer rating by situation. First versus the blitz, fifth versus no blitz, first under pressure, 103.3 passer rating. Under pressure with the blitz, a 116.9 passer rating, second in the NFL, and under pressure without the blitz, 94.5. Still good for four. See, under pressure without the blitz is usually where you start to see quarterbacks, especially young quarterbacks, I feel like kind of in the 70-ish range, even if they're pretty good. 94.5 is really good for passer rating.
It is, and that's for the season?
Yeah.
Does that include postseason?
It includes the playoffs.
Okay. So he faced one legit defense in that span between the regular season and the postseason.
Are we calling the Texans defense the legit one, not the Chargers or the Broncos?
Yeah, that's the one. I'd just be curious. I mean, as we go through these numbers, as we lead up to the Super Bowl, of Drake May's numbers in comparison to Brock Purdy's numbers, while they both played trash opponents. I just would like to see if maybe they match up. So
I did see some stats that showed, it was saying that the Seahawks, once they win the Super Bowl, they would have defeated the top 3 or 4 quarterbacks. I think maybe even it was top 3, and they were arguing that it was Matt Stafford, Drake May, and Brock Purdy as the top 3 statistically best quarterbacks this year.
Well, there you go.
As we said, I think Josh Allen was the 4th.
Early in the show, we talked a little bit about how situation matters a lot for quarterbacks and how that might be more important than just about anything in the world. And schedule is a part of situation, no doubt.
Yeah. Brock Purdy definitely had a very easy schedule and run of opponents that probably allowed him to rank out as high as he did in terms of his passer rating. He was out part of the weeks, but accounting for that. Yeah. Going up against, not playing a whole lot of defenses. Because really, I saw, what was it? One of the football shows, some Patriots fan was arguing, oh, well, if you take out the NFC West opponents, who did the Seahawks really beat this season?
I mean, if you take out their own division, who they played more than anybody else did, which happened to be the hardest division of football, then who did they beat?
And it was funny, too, because the host said, so if you take out all the good teams, they didn't really beat any good teams.
Yeah. Yeah. And they played twice.
3 times.
In some cases, 3 times. Yeah.
Yeah, the only one they didn't play 3 times was the Cardinals. So,
Yep.
Yeah. So other than the good teams that the Patriots faced, they didn't really beat anybody good either.
Yeah, it just would help if it was more than one.
They played the Bills twice. They played the Texans.
I'm not sure the Bills were a good team this year.
Yeah, they were. I mean, they were good-ish.
Good-ish. Yeah, I'll give you that.
I mean, they're a playoff team.
Yeah. I mean, their head coach is canned, but
Yeah. Okay. So I saw that thing on social media too, showing that all of the teams that had canned their head coaches for whatever reason, they left the Jets though off. Didn't the Jets fire their coach?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, why did they leave the Jets as a team that didn't fire their coach off that list? I was confused on that, but
I don't know.
Yeah, they played. It's almost comical how many teams that they played in the regular season that didn't fire their head coach. It was like 2.
Yeah, exactly. Now on the flip side, look, if you're gonna
but they played the Ravens, they played the Texans, they played the Chargers. I mean, they did play some tough teams down the stretch.
That Chargers team was not a tough team.
There was I consider them a defense though that was more legit than the defenses that they had faced throughout the regular season.
I mean, yeah, Jesse Minter did get hired as head coach. The defense was decent, but like offensively speaking, like again, this kind of goes back to situation, everything we're talking about where we're judging these things. Like you have to be good all the way around. Like you can't just have a great defense and then be like, well, we beat a good team because they've got a great defense. Well, what was their offense like? Well, their offense, they were missing every single offensive lineman they've ever drafted in the history of the team. Justin Herbert was playing with a broken hand. It looked like he was under like the siege of Berlin throughout the entire game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Also, point of fact, Aaron Glenn, I think, is still the head coach of the New York Jets.
Okay. So maybe that's why they left him off the list, because he wasn't in fact fired.
Yeah.
I get so used to the Jets turning over their head coach every year. Yeah. I just assumed that they were going to turn that over again.
It just feels like a rite of passage.
Maybe it's not too late. And no shade against Aaron Glenn. Like, seems like a great dude. Mm-hmm. Maybe they should give him some time.
Yeah. I mean, he's entertaining. He's fun. No interceptions from a DB coach kind of is like, that's a little troubling.
Yeah, a little bit. So we end up facing the Patriots instead of the Broncos, and there was an opportunity there that it could have been the Broncos, Adam.
I honestly feel bad for Bronco fan.
Yeah,
like the Bo Nix ankle thing. Like, I was stunned getting that news after the game. Like, wait, what? When? How? Like, there's
no indication anytime during the game that he was injured, and then to have a broken ankle that you come out and say he's done for the season.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem real.
Yeah, it doesn't seem real. I didn't believe it. And also just tough too, because apparently after he broke the ankle is when he threw the big touchdown to Mims late in the game too. So like baller Bo Nix, man, like he's a real one, dude. And another thing to feel fortunate about as Seahawks fans in terms of this season as a whole up to this point is just, young team, relatively healthy. And if we want to talk about luck, some good luck.
The most significant injury that sidelined a player for the season, it was up until the Zach Charbonnet injury, it was Torrey Horton.
Yeah. Yep. So,
and Julian Love being out for a few weeks and coming back, but
yeah. And Charles Cross missing a couple weeks, like, a couple of those, but like none of the devastating.
And those here and there injuries, I think you just expect to happen, but it's the dudes who you lose for the entire season that are the ones that hit the hardest.
Yeah. So, I mean, tough break for the Broncos. They're not going to the bowl. They get to stay in Denver. So enjoy your time there. We'll take care of these Patriot boys for you coming up here in a week and a half. And
any commentary though on the Sean Payton not taking points there?
Oh yeah. So like that was super frustrating in some ways, but also like it makes sense in other ways. So I'm conflicted on this one. Now, a lot comes down to how much Sean knew about the incoming weather and how much he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure that that's an indictment on a head coach either. Like some people act like, well, if he didn't know, like it's like he's not a catfish. meteorologist, okay? Like, he's not checking the Doppler in the middle of the game. Like, he's trying to figure out how to beat a zone blitz. Like, let's just be real about it, right? But with that said, early in the game, going for it there and not taking the points, there's a part of me that says, like, yeah, take the points, especially if you know the weather's getting bad. But also, too, the backup's hot for a second. Probably won't be hot all game. I've watched this boy in practice. If we can punch it in this one time and get up 14 points here, we may have a legitimate shot to go to the Super Bowl with the Stids. And I can see it either way in that case. I honestly can.
From the standpoint of score 14 points here, turn it over to the defense, it's game over. It probably would have been. It may have been game over being up 10 points. I mean, does Jared Stidham freak out and fumble the football back to the team if he because did that happen after that fourth down field goal opportunity?
Oh, say that one more time. I'm sorry.
His freak out where he just chucked it backward. And they recovered. That was after passing up that field goal, right?
Yeah, that was late in the game.
Okay.
Yeah, that's after it got like crazy blizzardy.
So yeah, if he hadn't had the pressure on him at that moment, maybe that doesn't happen. I'm trying to think, at what point in that game was to where maybe
it was early in the game that I think it was second quarter when they had that decision. It was before the snow started coming down crazy and all that. And I mean, I don't know. I guess at this point too, like, I mean, you're in the AFC Championship game. Your starting quarterback is gone. Your backup is literally Jared Stidham. Like, the fact they were in this game at all, like, why are we criticizing Sean Payton in any way, shape, or form?
Because I think that,
and then what? They're going to go to the Super Bowl and get curb stomped by the Seahawks again? Like, come on. This is probably better for the Broncos deal, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah, probably. It does make me think, though, that, gosh, if they would have just lost to the Bills, like how much better of an AFC championship we have had with another Bills-Patriots matchup then.
Yeah.
You had the two division rival NFC championships to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, man. Look, if you would have told me, like, hey, this is what's going to happen with Bo's ankle, Broncos, Bills for, like, yes, Bills all day. And I'd probably choose Bills to be in the AFC Championship game as my preferred team either way,
Yeah.
But then again, I'm not sad that we're not seeing Josh Allen.
No, I'm not either.
Yeah. But I mean, Drake's damn good. Drake's damn good. But he ain't Stafford and he ain't Allen. No. Not yet.
No. I think Matt Stafford will get MVP. But
yeah, probably.
I could see folks making a case for May too, just based statistically on his season.
Yeah.
Well, some folks who I know I'm going to give an MVP vote to. It's our executive producers, DCH, Ryan Peterson, who I got to see live and in person this weekend, Brian Shaw, JC Schilling in the 313th, as well as Steven Kirkpatrick, Adam, and man, oh man, did Steven one-up himself from the previous week? Because
wait, what?
Yes, it's not only a score donation of $31.27. It is a score donation with an extra $200 tacked onto it.
Oh my
$231.27 from Steven Kirkpatrick.
Dude.
He's executive producer for a while now, buddy.
Yeah. Sometimes like these things hit me, like when you guys do this stuff, you little floggers like Steven here, and I'm literally like mostly speechless. Like wow. I mean, thank you, buddy. Like wow. It blows me away. If catfish fucking blows me away, man.
It blows me away too. And how this played out for me was as a season ticket holder, checking my email after the game. I don't know why the Seahawks do this. Maybe it's so that people who actually do win the tickets as part of the season ticket holder lottery to go to the Super Bowl. Like that, what an amazing email that must be as a season ticket holder to check your email as soon as the game ends and go, oh my gosh, I just got tickets. I'm able to purchase tickets at face value to go to the Super Bowl. What an amazing time. Yeah. But instead for me, it was, no, you were not selected. But then an email right after that was the email from Stephen Kirkpatrick and his donation. So
you lost, and then you still won big because of Stephen and his support. That's amazing. Appreciate you a ton, man. And we'll put that to good use because I think we're all dabbling with the idea of being in the Bay Area as we win a Super Bowl in the 49ers turf.
Yes, I know for sure you and DCH, but hey, let's throw it out there. If anybody is a lottery winner, and because one of the things I did find out too is that there was a warning email that went out to people who received the congratulations, you were selected, but also if you're accepting those tickets, it sounds like it's pretty strict that if you resell the tickets that you were on that you were selected to pay face value for, if you then resell them, you could have your season tickets, your season ticket privileges could then be revoked if you sell those tickets.
Wow. Okay. Some Big Brother Minority Report stuff here. Well, how would they even know?
Well, I think if you did it private party, they wouldn't know. But if you put it on their official Ticketmaster website.
Yeah, no. Why would you do that?
I mean, you wouldn't. That would be
I don't
silly.
know. I don't know. Watch it on the TV and put $10K in my pocket. I don't know. I don't know.
It's hard to say no to. That does feel like a lottery win, right? Then that, should I go watch my team play, or should I get 3x of and just watch the game at home?
It's a lot of grain.
As a season ticket holder, you go, oh, this pays for my season tickets next year now.
Yup. There's a bunch of things, right?
Right.
I don't know. I get it. And I get it too from the team being like, look, man, we gave you this privilege. Don't f it up. Yeah. I see it. I totally understand.
Accept the tickets so you can go root for your team. That feels like a privilege.
Yes, it is. I would take that privilege. I'd be tempted by the dark side too, but I don't know. I don't even know where I'd land.
Well, thanks to Steven. Also a thanks to Frank Kudasik, who came in at $36, $3 a month for the year. Welcome to the flock to Frank.
Appreciate it, man. That's awesome. Welcome, Frank. Dude, what a year for little flockers to get in here, man.
And this is good for it's a very good show for this too, because I'm not done. Amber Bradshaw coming in at $12.12. Welcome to the flock to Amber.
Welcome, Amber, man. That upper tier as well. Appreciate that.
Welcome to the flock to Weston Kerrigan in at $5 a month. Says, love you guys. I've been listening with my dad since I was 8 years old. Post Super Bowl loss. Been a lifelong Seattle fan from Orange County, California, and very long overdue for joining the flock. Go Hawks. Look.
Go Hawks. Now Weston's an adult. Like a legit adult.
Weston, your clock doesn't start until you turn 18, by the way, buddy.
Oh, for sure. Freeloader status? Yes. Yeah. Anybody under the age of 18 never feel bad about it ever. No.
Yeah. And really, I would argue, establish yourself as a working adult even for a couple years before that freeloader clock starts.
1,000% yes. And on top of all that, I believe, Weston, I owe your dad an apology. I owe your entire family an apology, and specifically you an apology for all the words you've heard come out of my mouth at the young age of 8. I'm not sure all of those were probably for you. They should have been, maybe.
Well,
but
we have a catfish feed for a reason.
Yeah.
Nick Green in at $5 a month. Welcome to the flock to Nick, or welcome back, Nick. Your name sounds familiar to me.
Yeah, it absolutely does. That's fantastic.
Andrew Mack. Andrew, I got to see here in Seattle as well, making the flight all the way from Australia. And Andrew is bumping up from 54 Australian to 240 Australian. I'm assuming this is for the year.
I would, well, yes, I hope so. That would be kind of obscene to do otherwise, but like, that's really cool, man. So, he was there, for NFC Championship game from Australia.
Yep. Dylan in the Discord, if you recognize that name, he made the trip. And
oh, okay. Yes. All right. Yeah.
Yep. Got to see him. We met at the press box Saturday night, and then we had a tailgate thanks to Tracy, who helped rekindle the tailgate a little bit, and found a nice spot to where we all got to hang out. And yeah, Andrew showed up, and yeah, it was cool. We had a ton of folks there. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Jose Romero, welcome to the flock. He just became a $3 member, so welcome to the flock to Jose.
Heck yeah, man. He'll be in the Discord as well with Delwood and the rest of us now.
Heck yes. TF Easter Bunny, a new member out on YouTube. Welcome to the flock to TF Easter Bunny.
Yeah, I mean, appreciate that. It does give me some PTSD flashbacks when I had to wear the Easter Bunny suit doing, mall photos, but that's okay. It's fine. Yeah.
And one name I know that I recognize, I know you will recognize, back in the flock, Jason Kyler Yano at $60 for the year. And Jason says, okay, so here's the thing. I started supporting the show back in 2015 after the play that shall not be named,
right,
but shall soon be overshadowed by the MOB.
Right.
After 10 years, some money changes, and less time to listen, I figured I'd put it to rest. Well, I'm back because of the catfishing value for value proposition, because we're going to the catfishing Super Bowl, and because I catfishing can't quit you. Go Brandon, Adam, the Protector, and Clinton. Go Flockers, and go Hawks. And don't go, Clint, please.
Yes. No, Jason, we've always loved having you a part of the show, no doubt about it. And, always appreciate the donation, no doubt about that as well. But, yeah, I mean, we're like a bad heroin addiction. This probably isn't good for you, but you really can't stop.
It's okay. It might be the cheapest heroin addiction that you can have, though.
Oh, $1,000% a year.
Yes. That's,
Yeah. Heroin's expensive.
I have no idea. I just know that it's
got
to be more than 60.
Yeah.
Well, a big thanks to all of our new members of the flock. Welcome back to anyone who is coming back. And thanks to everybody who put in the raises. Thanks to our executive producers. And a big thanks as well to our Pick'em League overlord who has been watching over us all throughout the year. It's EV. Dear underlings, congratulations. You're going to the Super Bowl. Dad was very, very happy and excited on Monday morning, although bleary-eyed, not sure how much work he did before lunchtime. My maths teacher informed me there will be two birds at the NFL final game this season, the Seahawks and a superb owl. He is he's almost as funny as my dad. This week saw 66 people get both picks correct, with Unlimited Flocker getting the closest score prediction. However, one person had the audacity to pick the Rams. Riq Wampler, hang your head in shame. Brandon, do not change his pick. He deserves all the bad Hakra. I also have concerns. This is not a first offense. Overall, and with the Seahawks in the Super Bowl, if everyone remembers to pick, the scores will remain the same as after this week. 3 people are tied for 4th on 192 picks. Tram Rammers, Hockadoodle-Doo, and Dad, who moaned this week to me that because I always refer to him as Dad, his team name, which he loves and makes him think he's funny, never gets read out. So to Dad, here you go. His team name is, in joint second place with 193 picks, Barry the WC and Boise Hawk. And then 6 picks clear is Obu's Daddy on 199. I have been ruminating on Obu's Daddy. And as Adam says, once is a mistake, twice is a trend, 3 times is a you problem. Had Obu's Daddy committed one more infraction, I would have deducted points.
Okay.
But being 6 points clear it probably wouldn't have made a difference. There it is. There's the ruling by our overlord, Adam.
Look, man, we have a lot of different rulers in our lives, whether it's the oligarchs of the world or, whatever administration's in office or, even your local HOA Karen that's up your ass, whatever it is. But there's one overlord in this world that is fair, just, and righteous, and that is Evie. And I totally appreciate her ruling on this matter. I think it makes sense, especially since she uses my own rule to enforce it. So that's why I like it so much.
That may be some controversy for Barry the WC and Boise Hawk, but being 6 points ahead, that is a very clear lead, and but something to think about too for next season. The thin ice, O's daddy. The overlord is onto you.
Yes.
Overall, that leaves the standings with 6 people technically in the top 5. And while I would love to find a way to ensure Dad finished 6th, I can't find a reasonable and fair way. Brandon, can you find 6 prizes instead of the typical 5 this season? Absolutely, Evie. Have an awesome week. I will write after the Super Bowl to wrap everything up. Go Hawks. Love, Evie.
Hey, love you back, Evie. What a season. And I'm feeling lucky. I'm feeling lucky about the Super Bowl, Brandon, because we can't win it with skill. It has to be just luck. But at least I'm feeling lucky.
Hey, if we only just used up a portion of our luck against the stupid Rams, let's hope we save a little
Sean.
bit.
He'll tell us.
Save a little bit for this game coming up against the Patriots, which we will cover in more depth with our flagship show next week, with guests coming up, with our preview show with Phil the Protector coming up next week. We're going to have a lot of time to preview this matchup with the Patriots.
Cooking up a few things. And you and Phil and Clinton have been dreaming up some ideas about some shows, which I think are pretty fun. And looking forward to do those as we celebrate this season to a degree for this week, and then get locked in next week to kicking ass and taking trophies.
The season is not yet over. I can't wait. It feels it's been such a long time since we've been in this position, and so it does feel special all over again. It doesn't feel,
to put it in perspective for Patriots fans, it feels like 17 eternities since we've been in the Super Bowl again, or been like relevant again. So I mean, they're 3 months of just tough fortune, like that, just tough.
It's it is funny how entitled Patriots fans.
What a kind word to use there. Like that's good by you. Very classy.
Well, they're probably feeling very hurt after their coach was not elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame this week.
In Belichick?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's not going to be my do better, but I mean, look, there's these moments in Hall of Fame stuff where you go, the catfish are we doing? And this is clearly the writers being petty as hell over the fact that Belichick gave him the business at the podium forever. The winningest coach of all time with the most Super Bowls ever. I don't know, man. I just couldn't find a way to make him a first ballot. I just couldn't see it.
Spygate, Adam.
Oh,
had to be.
Same guys still don't understand the ideal gas law either. Like, God.
I think, I think giving them credit and saying that it was because Spygate is probably generous. I think that you're probably right in that it was pettiness about how he treated media at the podium.
1,000% yes, 0% no. It's transparent as hell, and it's really sad. It really looks sad. I really do get frustrated with sports writers in the self-importance that they give themselves. And like, dude, like, get out of here. We're fans. We do a show. We're just dudes. And like, when we're at 1 million subs, like, we'll still just be dudes because nobody's that amazing at this. Like, nobody.
Congratulations to Tom Grossi, by the way. He just surpassed 1 million subs.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Hey, well, shout out to Tom for sure. He sent the Grossi posse our way one time too. Appreciate that as well. And talented dude, man. Super talented dude. Well earned.
And you know what? We could probably get him on the show on this offseason. Like, that's how down to earth of a dude he is.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds great.
We got Perna on, and he's closing in. He's I think 150,000 subs away.
No, I mean I'd love to talk to Perna and Grassi for sure. Like that'd be a great time.
We can get Perna back on. It's too bad that we didn't have the Broncos in the Super Bowl to.
It would have been the curse wheel against the Let's Ride curse.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that'd have been fun.
The battle of the curses.
Yeah.
Thanks to him, by the way, for cursing the Rams ahead of this game. I'm sure
it's because we're so lucky. It's because we're so lucky.
We will put that into the luck column for ourselves. How to do better and better at life.
All right, man. Might do better this week. You think I'd be done crapping on the Rams in this podcast, but I'm not.
No.
I'm not. You know why? Because they're shit the organization, and they treat their stars like crap when they're done with them. Like, it's one thing when we get to the end of our time with Bobby the first time, or like, look, this is the money we can afford. You can get more, go ahead and go do that, and we'll root for you. And then not only that, but then to bring him back, and then to have the same classic reaction again as you send him on his way to continue his career with the Commanders, which continuing to rack up numbers and still being Bobby Wagner and all that stuff. But not the LA Rams. Not this shitfish show of a craptastic organization. Look, I'm not a Cooper Kupp guy. I'm a Cooper Kupp hater. Been a sports hater of Cooper Kupp his entire career. But I'd never want him to be treated by his own organization like this, Brandon. I think you've read this article from Michael Silver, right?
Uh-huh.
And basically, when they get down to brass tacks of whether or not he's going to come back and they want to move on to Devontae Adams, they cut ties with him. They urge him to retire. But not only that, Brandon, what do they do after that? Do they pull the dagger out of the sheath and Judas him right in the back? Is that what they do?
No, they asked other teams to lowball him or not even sign him.
Yeah, they Judas him right in the back with the rest of the league. Oh no, he's not worth it. The time's too much. Like yada.
He's broken down. Yeah, he's not
basically
gonna be
everything
good.
I said the offseason. But he didn't do shitfish for me up until that point. All he did was rip my sports heart out.
Yeah, that was sports hate talking. That wasn't like legitimate based on your eyeballs. What you were seeing.
Oh hell no. Yes, exactly. That was me. Like just being a legit hater. I'm usually not a hater, but in this case for sure. And they go out and they talk to the rest of the teams and tell him to give him the league minimum, to lowball him, to take bread off of his family's plate. What a cheap ass, petty shitfish organization. It shouldn't surprise you. Coming from the Cronkies, who took the entire city of St. Louis and said, hey, thanks for all the support and the money and everything. Peace. And then just left and just dropped their fan base. What a trash organization who's not going to the Super Bowl, who's on the downslope decline here. And on top of all of that, their era is over as Mike McDonald now reigns supreme over the NFC and the NFC West, with Cooper Kupp coming here and then saying, oh yeah, how about these apples? And now Cooper's in the Super Bowl with a first-class, high-class organization that is the Seattle Seahawks. So, to the crybaby shitfish, terrible Rams, do better.
I didn't realize we were doing it wrong all these years. We needed to force Marshawn Lynch into retirement, then force Bobby into retirement, force Tyler Lockett into retirement. What are we even doing if we're not telling other teams to pay guys who were here to just offer them the league minimum?
Yeah. Who knew? Who knew that was the way to do it? But
I thought that treating players with respect, it was like the classy thing to do. Now, I don't know if we needed to pay Cooper Kupp $15 million a year just to like rub it in the eyes of the Rams, but I guess that's
I hated it at the time. I hated it through the season, but once this article comes out, we end up where we are. Cooper did what he did in the NFC Championship game. I kind of love it. I'm not gonna lie.
I do too. That's what finally got me on board. It's like, okay, this contract makes sense now.
Yeah,
it all came together at the end.
If you were to ask me how many millions of dollars does it take you're willing to spend to go to the Super Bowl at the Rams' expense and have Cooper Kupp like spit in their eye. 15 might have felt low.
It feels low.
Yeah.
It feels like maybe we could have given him a Percy Harvin deal.
I mean, at this point.
Well, my do better this week, Adam, is also based around the Rams, but mostly based around Henry McKenna, NFL reporter for Fox Sports. But it's not because of anything other than, I don't know, carrying the water of Sean McVay, especially with this headline, big picture, how one unlucky play versus Seattle altered Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford's legacy. So with all this talk around, will Matt Stafford come back? Will, what's his future? What's the future with the Rams? Now, because of a few words by Sean McVay, Henry is going out. He's tracking down. He has some Seahawks players apparently who were off the record, I'm guessing. It says, 2 Seattle defenders confirmed what McVay saw. Hunched over my phone.
Bullshit.
One defender said D-Law was tripping. Another said D-Law shouldn't have ran with it, but we won. So it was he's going with these unnamed Seahawks looking at the play on his phone and saying that it was DeMarcus Lawrence who lucked into dropping into coverage in that moment and giving the Seahawks the win, and lucking into ending Matt Stafford's legacy potentially in one play only, Adam, for Henry McKenna, and a silly article about, when you have to go with Sean McVay's words, a fortuitous bust, and figure out how can I write an article that is solely carrying the water for the Rams head coach, and then making it happen. Do better.
There's a few ways to smell bull. Catfish! And one of those ways is to just play the what's more likely game, Brandon. Like what's more likely that Ryan McKenna found an approach to Seahawks players after they just won the game to go to the Super Bowl, and they took the time to watch the play on his phone and then stab their head coach in the back and say that it it's totally luck. I don't know how we got there. And confirm Sean McVay. Is that more likely? Or is it more likely that no Seahawk talked to this guy and went and celebrated with their team and did their press conferences and all of that? Just take that in for a second. If I'm any player on the Seahawks after that game, a Ram reporter comes up to where was he supposedly doing this too? On the field after the game, and then they're anonymous Seahawks players. You know how much I believe this? Zero catfish. No, negative 12,000%. This is such a lie. And it's so painfully obvious. The bullshit eaters through the roof, all to cape for your head coach who can't just admit he got beat. He got beat. And you're going home. Boof. Catfish. No.
This is the wild thing that I don't understand, because where did he get this quote? If he's talking about somebody hunching over his phone, I do see in his timeline a picture of Matt Stafford in the locker room. So it is possible that that's his photo.
Yeah, no, Matt Stafford, oh wait, he doesn't play for the Seahawks at all.
But I do see some locker room photos from Henry. I was very
inside the Seahawks locker room.
I do see some inside the Seahawks locker room photos. So
okay, all right. First off, whoever let that ass catfish in there, they need to be fired now.
Well, the thing about this, I was with you a few minutes ago too, because he was a Patriots beat writer, and why is he, as a Patriots writer, not in Denver and instead in Seattle?
I don't know. He sounds like he's AI.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't believe it.
I don't either. It's very possible too that he just got these photos from other reporters in the room. But
that's true. Well, the other good news is that game was decided on a play, and it was that play, for sure. That's the one. That's the one. That's the one everybody points to. It's that play. It's definitely not the muff pump.
Yeah. And it's definitely not Sean McVay's decision to go for it there on 4th and 4 rather than kicking a field goal and then letting Matt Stafford, I don't know, decide his legacy on a play other than 4th down.
Unbelievable. I'm tired of these assholes. All right, let's talk about people who I love, who I owe an undying gratitude and debt to, and that is Jody Allen. She is my better at life than Skip Bayless this week. Brandon, we got to see her hoist a trophy. We got to see John and Mike give her the props of what she's done and how steady she's been. And what a great owner she's been in terms of when it comes time for big boy decisions. I'll be there. Pete Carroll, you can go ahead and leave. I know there's this Adam guy in the woods that doesn't like that decision, but we're doing it. And so she just does that. And then looks at John and says, you know what? You're good at your job. Make it happen. Peace. No drama. No stupid quotes. No hanging around the locker room. No having pressers for the entire offseason like Jerry Jones. Just the epitome of great ownership. Makes tough calls when it comes her way. Gets the catfish out of the way after that. And lets the people that know what they're doing do what they do. And carrying on her brother's legacy. And I just nothing but respect. And thank you, Jody Allen, for being a great owner. Because teams with bad owners don't make it to the Super Bowl. They don't. We know it. So, Jody Allen, for everything that you've done, what you continue to do, you are a championship level owner. And thank you for that. And you are better at life than Skip Bayless.
I like it. And it's when Paul Allen passed, I mean, there's the potential that the team could have been sold to another owner. There's the potential that she could have even come in and wanted to do things her way and ended up getting in the way. And you see that happen sometimes when people fall into ownership roles that maybe they hadn't intended to be in. And for that to happen in the way it did and to stay kind of out of the way, but also be in it enough to be able to make those decisions when they need to be made. That's a tough balance, I think, to know where to be for, any football owner. I think you see owners struggle.
I'd be the worst.
But it would be fun because, and that's another thing. When you have that much money and you can own a team, you can do it your way.
Oh, for sure. They're always like, yeah, we love it when we always saw the owner like once a year. Like, I'd be at every practice just sitting on the hill.
Yeah. Can I watch film? Can I watch post-game film with you guys?
You know what? I think you could probably pull that off as long as you didn't say it one word.
I don't know.
But maybe just your presence makes everybody nervous and it changes the vibe. I don't know.
It might change the vibe.
Yeah. But I'd want to. Like, can I just be a part of the club? No, I will write the checks, I promise.
Yeah, I want to be one of the guys.
But maybe you don't want this I identify with. Maybe you wouldn't want like your boss right over your shoulder as you're doing your work.
No.
All the time like that. Yeah, doesn't feel good.
Well, some of the folks who are our bosses that I wouldn't mind having us hang over our shoulders as we worked, it's our members of the flock, Adam, and getting to see so many folks. I have to give Better at Life honors to everyone who made it out to the NFC Championship game, who got to hang out with me and my brother who were out there for the game, seeing our executive producer, Ryan 911, live and in person at dinner and then at the tailgate was a great time. Seeing Andrew make it all the way from Australia, seeing Alex make it all the way from Germany. Bryson, we saw him at dinner And he just came up from Eltopia, but it was
Eltopia's a drive.
It's a little bit of a drive from Tri-Cities, yeah. So all from the other side of Washington State, and the we had I didn't write down their names, but a couple dudes from the Netherlands. So
that's freaking sweet.
Got to see them as well. David Van Cleve came up from the Portland area. Got to see Lisa, who also. Gave you a place to stay, which was amazing. And who else am I missing? Chris. Oh yeah, Chris from California. Saw him. Saw Steph. Was Steph the one from the Netherlands? That might have been. And saw Roy, who I think you'll remember from his Pick'em team name, You Potty Mouth.
Yeah,
from a couple years ago.
That was a great one.
Yeah.
That was a great one.
Got to see Roy and his wife who met
Hell
us at the tailgate. So, and I'm sure there's probably somebody I'm forgetting, but just what a cool group of folks. Got to hang out and tailgate with. Got to. I wish I could have stayed afterward and celebrated more, but had to get on the road to get a start back to Montana, so I could be here midday Monday at least. But man, oh man, it was a great time with our members of the flock, getting to watch our Seattle Seahawks win and go all the way to the Super Bowl. To those who were there with me watching it, you are better at life than Skip Bayless.
Great call, Brandon. Look, this team has made this season special, no doubt about it. And not take anything away from that. But honestly, the journey with you guys is the most special, and having your guys' support and being able to meet up with you and actually have a back and forth in real life is nice, instead of feeling like we're always just kind of, or at least me, just yelling at you from one side. And it really does. We try to say this as many different ways as we possibly can. This doesn't work without you. It doesn't work without you. And just thank you. Sincere thank you.
A big thanks to everyone as well. And we'll want to thank our $12 members and above in our next week's show as we preview the matchup with the New England Patriots. GetInTheFlock.com if you want to join in with those other folks. And man, oh man, it's been such a fun season. It's not over, and we get to do it against a franchise where it feels like maybe we have a little bit of unfinished business, Adam.
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. Maybe a tiny bit. But we've got a bunch of business we about to finish and get a trophy, send the Patriots on back home, celebrate on the 49ers field, and finish off one of the most perfect sports seasons that anybody has ever experienced in their life. I can't wait, man. I can't wait.
I can't wait either. And I think with that,
there's only one thing left to say.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.